Hey guys, Jeff here with PassiveIncomeUnlocked.com, and today I want to talk to you about headlines. Whenever I'm starting a new website, my main goal is always to make money. Anyone that's been doing this for a while will tell you it's hard to make money without driving traffic to your website, and that's where headlines come into play. If you can write a better headline than your competitors, you can actually rank faster and drive more traffic to your website. So let me explain how this works. Let's say you're targeting a keyword and you finally get onto page 1 in the Google search results, but you're at the bottom, position 7 to 10. Unless it's a high volume keyword, position 7 to 10 isn't going to give you any meaningful traffic. You really need to be at the top between positions 1 and 3. So what you can do is write a better headline than your competitors, and over time, people that are searching for that keyword will actually click on your article instead of the articles above you. And that tells Google that your article is more relevant, assuming that your article actually has good content in it and the person doesn't bounce immediately. So over time, as you get more clicks, you will rank higher than your competitors above you just because you have a better headline, and then you'll get more traffic to your website. So what I want to do in this video is kind of walk you through step by step my thought process of taking a keyword and turning it into a great headline so I can drive more traffic to my website. So let's jump over to my computer. Okay, so we're over on my computer now, and basically what I want to do is kind of walk you through my thought process of taking a keyword and turning it into a headline. So let's jump over to LibreOffice Writer here. And in this case, I'm just going to use a fictitious keyword. We'll just have some fun with it. So we're going to say that the keyword that we're targeting is how to ride a dragon. I'm assuming this isn't a real keyword. So we're not going to actually look it up in Google search, but basically what you would do in this case, let's say that this is what you're targeting. Step 1 before you do anything with the title is you just pop it into Google search and see what the competition looks like. If this is a low volume keyword and there's no competition, I actually leave this as is and I don't change it at all. The only time I change the keyword into something different for the title is if there's competition or if I think there will be competition and I want to make the title even better to beat those competitors. The reason that I would leave this as such a simple title if I don't think there's going to be any competition is because Google, even in an article that I saw this morning, they state that they actually use the headline as one way to figure out what your article is about. And we already knew that, of course, but just getting it confirmed by somebody at Google is always nice. And clearly, if there's no competition, why make it any more difficult for Google to figure out what your article is about? So we're going to move on with the assumption that there is competition and we want to actually improve this and make it a good headline. So my next step from taking it from how to ride a dragon would be, this is how to ride a dragon. Basically in this scenario here, all you're doing is adding 2 words, this is, to the beginning of your keyword. What that does is it kind of makes the statement factual, so you're kind of saying it with confidence now. And when you state something with confidence, people get the impression that you know what you're talking about, and it's going to get you more clicks. Super simple way to just improve that keyword. Just add 2 words, keeps the headline nice and short, and that's going to beat your competitors if your competitors simply use the keyword as their headline. What I would do next with this is to just personalize it a little bit. So in this case, we just changed the word to I. So this is how I ride a dragon. So this I don't do a whole lot. It really depends on what the keyword is. But making something personal like this can go a long way depending what the keyword is about. So using the word I or you or your, it really is going to depend on the keyword. You have to think about what is that potential visitor looking for and how are they going to react to what you put in the title. Personalizing things within an article, that's huge. That is going to definitely get you more traffic or keep more traffic coming to your site. As far as the headline goes, it really depends on the keyword. So just keep that in the back of your mind. I'd say 50-50 on how to ride a dragon versus how I ride a dragon. But it's just a super simple way to change up your headline as well. Next thing that I would do with this, I'd actually go in a different direction. And we'll just say 10 ways to ride a dragon. In this case, I'm making it a list post. So with this is how to ride a dragon or this is how I ride a dragon, you're basically saying there's one way to do this. With a list post, you're saying that there's multiple, obviously. List posts are huge, though. I use them as much as possible. I mean, literally, anytime I can turn an article into a list post, I do it. they get so many more clicks than any other article. So if you can turn something into a list post, do it for sure. Super easy thing to do. You're just adding a number. That number, gets people's eyes, and when they see that 10 ways to do something, they're going to click on it. So really easy. And then one thing that you can do to take this a step further, super simple, is make your number odd. So 11 ways to ride a dragon. I believe I got this tip from Brian Dean at Backlinko in one of his videos. If you haven't seen any of his videos, he's excellent, so definitely go check him out. Whatever video I saw it in, I believe they did a study on odd numbers versus even numbers and the amount of clicks, and the odd numbers won out. And while it might seem kind of weird, it does make sense when you think about it, because anytime you can do something to differentiate your title from somebody else, it's going to get more clicks. So if you're using an odd number instead of an even number, it does stand out a little bit more. It's more unique, and as a result, more people are going to click on it. So again, super easy way to change your title. Doesn't add any characters. And then what I would do after that is add an adjective. So I do this pretty much every single article I write. So let's just say 11, we'll say 11 simple ways to ride a dragon. By adding the word simple, that's an adjective. That just kind of emphasizes your headline. And this works extremely well, and you would be surprised how many people don't do this, where their headline will just be 10 ways to ride, or let's say 11 ways to ride a dragon. If you say 11 simple ways, 11 easy ways, 11 surprising ways, 11 clever ways, whatever, it really differentiates your headline with just that one word, and you will definitely get more clicks. I literally do this as often as I possibly can with my headlines. So definitely try to or keep that in mind. All right, so the next one here, I saw this tip somewhere as well. I don't know if it was on Backlinko's channel or something else, but basically to add something in parentheses. So 11 simple ride a dragon at night. So in this case, you could, let's say, just say 11 simple ways to ride a dragon at night, just like that. But the problem with this is that at night just kind of blends in with the rest of the title. It doesn't really pop. So by putting it in parentheses, like that, it separates it, makes it jump out at you, so you kind of, your eyes go towards it and you kind of read it, and it kind of breaks up the title a little bit, but it makes it more unique. So instead of 11 simple ways to ride a dragon, 11 simple ways to ride a dragon at night, and that will get a little bit more attention. I do this quite a bit, but I only do it when the headline that I have is short. And I guess I should bring that up right now. You want to try to keep your headlines as short as possible. The only time you lengthen a headline is if you think it's going to help you improve that headline over the competitors. Short headlines do better than longer headlines, but of course it depends on what the headline is. So all these techniques that I'm walking you through, you only want to use them if you think you need to actually lengthen your headline to improve over your competitors. Otherwise, keep it nice and short. So putting something in parentheses, I do that when my headline is short. I don't do it if I think it's going to push it out too far. Google does have a character limit on what they'll show with headlines within Google search. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I stopped paying attention to that a long time ago because they change it so often, or maybe not so often, but they do change it over time. So I just write the best headline I can write, and if they change it, I'm good. If they cut off at night in this case, that's fine. I don't really care. Headline's still good without it. Just make sure that at least the front end of your headline is solid and you got your keyword towards the somewhat towards the front. Okay, so another thing I would do in this case, and I probably wouldn't do this, but this is a simple one that works in some scenarios. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't make sense. So just add an exclamation point. So you're just adding more emphasis to the title. Super simple. It's one character. That's unlikely to put you over any character limit that Google has. It really depends on the title, and if it's something that you're really trying to draw emphasis to, or it's like something surprising, then yeah, put that exclamation point. Otherwise, I don't usually use it. One other variation on this that I can show you too. So let's say that this was a long headline and you were kind of worried about the character length. Keep that keyword towards the front. So you could say something like, how to ride a dragon, 11 easy ways. Something like that. So you can put your number, you can still have that number in there, the odd number, to kind of get the attention. The adjective still in there, but you put that at the end and you keep the keyword towards the front. I don't worry too much about Google, reading the front of the keyword versus the end of the keyword. This is more about making sure that it shows up in the headline as a whole. And as far as, and I guess I'll point out while I'm talking about this, we're modifying the headline quite a bit from what the keyword is up at the top here, how to ride a dragon. In the old days, you would worry about changing how to ways, because you'd say maybe Google can't interpret this and they're not going to find the keyword I'm actually targeting. Google is super smart at this stuff now. You don't need to worry about that. They can figure out what you're trying to write about, especially when they look within your article and they're going to see these various phrases and put together that your article is targeting how to ride a dragon or the thousands of variations on that keyword that are out there. So don't overthink it. Don't worry about changing that initial keyword too much. If it makes sense to have it in the title, leave it in there. But if it doesn't and you want to kind of spice it up a little bit, just go for it. I mean, don't overthink it. I don't worry about my titles like that anymore at all, and I have no problem ranking. So one last thing I want to show you here. So let's say that instead of how to, this keyword was can. So the keyword will just say is, can you ride a dragon at night? So back to the whole exclamation point. What you could do in this case, and it makes a little bit more sense in this case. So you can say, can you ride a dragon at, we don't even need the at night part, but we can just say, can you ride a dragon? And then exclamation point, question mark. So that's a scenario where I probably would use an exclamation point. It turns that question keyword, or it kind of gives that question keyword a little bit of emphasis, and that does differentiate you from somebody just saying, can you ride a dragon, without the exclamation point. So that's a super easy one. And what I would actually do with this title, if this was something I was actually targeting, is I would say, can you really ride a dragon? Like that. So again, you have the exclamation point there for emphasis. You have the word really there for emphasis. This is a super short, simple title, but I can tell you right now, if the keyword is, can you ride a dragon, and your title is, can you really ride a dragon, and you got really in there, an exclamation point, people are going to click your title over this one for sure, if you're anywhere close to the top. So yeah, that's about it. I just want to kind of walk you through an example of how I would take a keyword like how to ride a dragon, so question keyword, and just kind of give you various ways to modify it to improve it. These are really, really simple tips, and I don't necessarily go from step one to step, whatever this is down here every single time. I'll use any variation in between. Depends on the keyword and what sounds best. Depends on the competition more than anything else. How long the keyword is. So just keep all these things in mind and pick the headline that makes the most sense, and try to mix it up, because another thing you have to think about too is that user experience for your visitors, especially your return visitors. So you don't want every single article on your site to be 11 simple ways to do this, 11 simple ways to do that. So you do want to think about that as well. It's not just about ranking in Google. You also want to think about user experience. So, all right, that's about it. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want even more tips on how to improve your headlines, head over to PassiveIncomeUnlocked.com, where I have a really thorough guide that goes over everything that we just talked about step by step and goes into more detail as far as why everything works. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll see you next time.